In a small, quiet town deep in the American woods, there was an abandoned house with the number 13. This number alone was enough to arouse fear and curiosity among the locals. The house was large and gloomy, its windows were broken and its doors were crumbling, as if something wanted to remain hidden behind its eroded walls. Rumors have been circulating about this house for decades. It is said that a family that once lived there suffered a terrible tragedy, and their lives ended tragically within its walls. Some claim to have heard screams and groans coming from the house on dark nights, while others claim to have seen ghosts roaming its wild garden. A group of brave, or perhaps reckless, teenagers decided to brave their fear and explore the abandoned house. They were looking for excitement and a new experience, ignoring the warnings they had heard about this terrifying place. On a dark, stormy night, the teenagers set off towards house number 13. As they approached it, the feeling of fear and dread increased. They entered the house cautiously, turning on their flashlights. The atmosphere inside the house was darker and more gloomy than they had imagined. The furniture was scattered, everything was covered in dust, and there was a chilling, cold feeling all around them. As they walked around the house, they began to hear strange sounds. Whispers, faint laughter, and the sound of footsteps following them. They felt as if they were being watched by invisible forces. Their heartbeats increased, and their nerves began to tense. Suddenly, the flashlights went out, and pitch-black darkness covered everything. The teenagers screamed in terror and tried to escape from the house, but the doors and windows were tightly closed. They felt helpless and extremely afraid. At that moment, they heard a clear voice saying, "Get out of here." A terrifying and powerful voice shook the walls of the house. The teenagers felt an evil force surrounding them. With as much force as they could, they managed to break one of the glass windows and ran out of the house. They ran as fast as they could and did not look back. The next day, the police returned to house number 13 to investigate the disappearance of the teenagers. They found no trace of them inside the house, but they heard the same terrifying sound that the teenagers had heard. Since then, house number 13 has become more terrifying and more mysterious. The story of the missing teenagers has become a legend that is told generation after generation.